Hello everybody, welcome to the Crochet Lovers Crochet Podcast, episode number 11. Hello everybody, so welcome to the podcast. Hello everybody who's new, old viewers, hello. So I don't have a lot to show you, but I do have stuff to show you, which I was kind of worried about, and I was kind of trying to fit items in through the week, that way I could get stuff done, that way I don't just have my temperature blanket. But yeah. So I do want to say right away that yesterday, which was Friday, Hook Over Heels and I, we had a live stream on Instagram on her account, and I thought that was just so much fun, and we were sitting there crocheting together, and she did most of the talking, but I joined in there every once in a while, and I believe that she's planning on doing it every week, if you do want to catch that, and she is wanting her... Well, she is like trying to expand her account and everything. That way she could hopefully sell someday. So if you do want to check her out, go ahead. That is her Instagram, and that'll be in the description box. So let's just get started. So I'll show you the hats. Oops. Okay, so a yarn just fell. I don't know if you saw that or not. Let me wind this up while I talk. So I believe I have 11 hats right here between the two piles. While I talk, I'm just gonna wind this yarn up. Okay. So she has in Hook Over Heels. She kind of talked about this yesterday. The live stream. It's been 24 hours, so it stopped playing on her story. But she started this thing where she was like, you know what, I'm gonna crochet you so many hats for your birthday, and it's gonna be a big surprise. And granted, my birthday is at the end of March, so she has a couple months to do that. But she's been cranking hats out, and I believe she already has 32 hats, and it's been almost a week or two. And that was basically what we were talking about yesterday. And that has been inspiring me, and it's made me feel bad because, like, it's my charity, and she's gonna, and most of the hats that I'm gonna be donating are from her, and that just made me feel so bad. So I've been trying to crank hats in as well, and so that's what these are. These are all mine. I'm not gonna get the hats that she made till like March 31st. That's my birthday, so around that time. I believe I'm going to get them sooner. It honestly depends. So, yeah. This is all of the yarn I have left from this scholar. I don't have the yarn label from this. I was given 3 skeins of this, and he was like, here's the donation, and I used up all of this, so I'm going to wrap up all of the hats that are made with this yarn and put them in bags to show the person who donated me the yarn how many hats that she donated, basically how much it contributed, which is going to be, I think is going to be awesome. I know she's going to love it since, you know, she's really into charities and stuff. So there we go. I did 5 hats last night. I did these last night, so I did these throughout the week. I think I got this one done yesterday too, or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, so we got 1, 2. Yeah, these varies from mini preemie sizes hats to bigger sizes to bigger to. I think this is the base out of the pile. So yeah. I'm honestly just trying to get all the various sizes over here. Okay, so I do have something little to show you. So basically, Hook Over Heels, she came up with the name. I believe it was called floppy skeins or something like that. Floppy yarns. And it was when you pull from the middle, how the yarn just gets flatter and flatter. And that was what this was. I was trying to I was crocheting with the rest of the floppy yarn, and I ran out of yarn, so I just grabbed some scrap yarn that I had access with me, and let me cut this off, it's bothering me. So I just attached some gray at the bottom of it. So that's what this hat is all about. It's a little different, but I think it still looks fine. This was also at like midnight, and I was a little bit tired, so it's like, okay, there's a gray hat. And then this one was with, this is with the landscape yarn from Lion's brand. This is all Red Heart over here. This is also Lion's brand. So this was trying to use up some leftovers that I believe I brought to my vacation with me. And this is also left over with it, but then again I didn't have the rest of it. So I used Red Heart Claret to finish it off, and I think it looks fine. So there's my stack of hats that I made this week, and I get to add them to the donations. It's so cool, I love it. Okay, so I have a work in progress that is going to, it's taking up a lot of space, and I'm kind of like scared because that was what I was winding up. Okay. I'll show you that at the end. I'll make you, my temperature blanket's falling, I'll show you that. Okay. I stopped posting the granny squares in my temperature blanket just because, well, I don't know why, I just stopped posting it for some reason, and I kind of wish I didn't, but oh well. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is how much, this is what you missed, there we go. So this is today all the way over here, and this was the week, and I haven't missed a day yet, and I was all happy with myself. Yeah, we're on our second row, and I'm still doing the join as you go, and that was day over here at day 15. That was still okay because it was just attaching on the one side, but day 16 was my first time doing join as you go with the two sides, and it's a little smushed, but I think I did just fine. So either way, I'm gonna be rejoicing when I'm on this column when I only have to do one side, because you have to like twist it around, and that just takes a while. So you can definitely see like how warm it was over here. Like you got these colors that don't even match with it just because it was so warm. And then we got like this is colder than this. This is colder than this. Just kept on going and going, and you can see like the blues are the colders. Now we got the opposite over here, and yeah, and today was the coldest we had this year so far, and like another reason for the temperature blanket, just because it's so cool to see. You can be like, oh yeah, I remember when this day was the coldest, and I got the new color, and I'm like, oh, that was so cool. You know, we got all of the memories, and it's so much fun. So there we go, there's my temperature blanket. So then I was watching Good Trouble on TV. I don't remember what channel that was. That was like Thursday, I think, or Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. It was sometime during the week. And I was working on my crochet, and I finished one of the blocks. This is in the color Flame. And I got the light over here. Like on the screen it looks really bright, but that's because like the angle of my laptop, and I hope it's not too bright. Yeah, so I got one of I'm gonna call them filler squares because it's basically that. So I got one of them done in flame, and it's corner to corner. There we go. And I think I got one done in pumpkin too, but I couldn't find it for some odd reason. Okay. And then I was also working on this baby blanket. And, you know, I think this was Sunday that I did that square, because that wasn't on a weekday. Because I remember working on this the same day. Okay, well, anyway, doesn't really matter what day I was working on it, does it? So this was the baby blanket this is the chevron baby blanket. I don't think I'm doing this right. If I do this at the very end, it just looks bad. I'm just gonna keep it for myself. But I'm learning. So here we go. I don't really see the chevron pattern, like the down. It just looks like points, and I think that's mainly because of the edges over here. I also think it's because of the color changes. Like if I had a smaller color change, then I would be able to see it better. This is a very fast project, so I'm not gonna be mad if I have to redo it or anything like that. So I worked on it a lot. I'm right here, and I was like all the way down here, so that's a lot of work I did. Oh yeah, I'm right here. You can't see stitch marker right here, and I was right there, so did quite a lot. There's that. Okay, so I'm just going to talk to you about this project up here while I wind this up. I said that a lot this podcast so far for some reason. Okay. I had extra time this week, one of the weekdays, so I decided, okay, I'm just going to start working on the February square, like the background, and then in February I can work on the appliques for the Jayda InStitches 2017 calendar blanket. So this is what I did. So I don't think I mentioned this before, but one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because I want this to be a stash poster project. A problem is that I don't have the beige that she was referring to, and I'm really glad that Ella did hers earlier, because Ella from No Catchy Name, just because the only browns that I have, or I should say had, you'll see in a minute, were it was called, like, I think it was brown from Craftsmart and like chocolate from Caron Simply Soft. I mean, these are the dark colors, like these are really dark browns, and I feel like that just wouldn't, I didn't really like the way that it looked, but if I didn't have a choice, then oh well, you know, like if it came down to that, then I would work with what I got. So drop some water. Okay, that's just water. So I asked my mom for some color advice. I'm like, okay, so what should I do with this beige thing? And I showed her Jayda's square. I'm like, okay. So we came down to the fact that this, what's this called? It's called Aran by Mainstay. This is Walmart's brand of yarn. Very, very soft. That's what this is. So we came down to that. So that's what the bear is going to be made of. And then it's like, okay, so then what should the background be? Because I want mine to look similar to hers in the similar ways. Well, mine to look like hers as much as possible. There we go. And I have a variety of pinks. And so I grabbed all my pinks out, from Red Heart Ombre to the one that has blacks with like a black and pink twist in it, and like different shades of pink and everything. And I even grabbed this one out, and I'm like, okay, so help me please, which one should I do? Because I'm not that good at color scheming and everything when I'm like under pressure, and I felt like I was under pressure at the time, which did not help anything. So we came down to this, which was using the Bernat Super Value. No, the Bernat. There's a lot of your inspirations. Bernat Baby Sport. And I don't remember, I think it was called like Lily Pad or something among like spring or something like that. It's a light pink with lime and white and a little orange, and you know, very, very springy. And that is what I did. And since this is a weight 3 yarn, I am doing, you know, as you can see, I have 2 going at once. And it's the same texture as if it was a weight 4. So this looks, so we have this, okay? And the reason I'm taking so long with this is because I need your advice. So like I said, my mom was a big help in this. The next day, I come home from school and she goes, surprise, look what I got you. Okay, I think my mom is more of a, like a yarnaholic than I am, if that makes any sense. Like, she buys a lot more yarn than I do. I come home and she gives me these. This is in Red Heart Cafe Latte and Red Heart Baby Pink. So this looks like baby pink. And this is a very, very light brown, and this is a much better bare color than this was. And I actually have a yarn that's similar to this, that's in I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so now what I need your advice with. A pretty pattern. Okay, so like again, it does, like I said with the baby blanket, I'm not gonna take any offense if I have to frog this or like just cut it off or anything. So I can always use it for like another month if I have to, if I can salvage it. So I need your guys' advice with colors. So I'm thinking this Cafe Latte for the bare head, and let's get this out of the way. So this for the bare head, but then I'm not quite sure which one for the background color. I think this baby pink goes better with the brown. Okay, there we go. There is that. So I'm gonna work that out, but I'm glad that I kind of figured that out this month instead of having to, you know, do that later on. So that took much longer than needed to. I don't know why I like was talking fast and it's kind of like slowed the pace down. I guess my brain's kind of like taking a break. So, So Jayda InStitches still has to, I'm still going to do her, it depends on what she's doing, but I believe I'm going to do her 2019 calendar blanket as well as her 2017, which is this. And so that's releasing at the end of January, at the end of 2019. Boy, that's gonna be a while. So yeah, there's that, which is coming up either next week or in 2 weeks. So let's go with that. And then so last week I was mentioning as well with Setta's Place how she has this crochet along going on, and I'm not quite sure that I'm going to do that one anymore. She's doing a table runner and I don't have a table, if that makes any sense. Like I wouldn't have a table to put that on. Let's just say that. So maybe I'll come up with, I can use my mind and I can come up with something to put that with. But there is another crochet along that I do want to do, and this gets over with April 1st. And I was thinking about, I'm like, oh, I have a really good idea for this, and thankfully it hasn't gone away because I haven't wrote it down. So the Canadian crocheter, that's how she pronounces it. She is doing a crochet along, and I believe it's called the locale. It's written L-O, and it's like the location. And I'm exploring Ravelry, but I'm still trying to figure out how to do the discussion groups tabs. I haven't discovered that yet. I might discover that later tonight. It depends on what's going to go on. So there's that. And then, so that's how you enter. And I have this, I don't know how much I said about it or how much I should say, but I'll leave her link in the description for the video. So I have this idea, and I'm not going to say it yet, and I don't know how big I should make it, but it's going to be cool. I know it's going to take me a while though, so I'm glad that it's open for April. I'm going to say till March. Till April. Right, okay. So there was also one thing that I was literally just working on right before I recorded this, and I forgot to mention it. What is it? So the summer stitch along blanket for my mother. I was finished row 5 and I'm halfway done with row 6 on that, and I forgot to grab it, so I'm not going to show you it, but it's huge. So there is that, and if you stuck around this long, wow, I'm surprised. Thank you for sticking around this long. But if not, then hello myself. Thank you for watching this week's podcast, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.